Hey everybody, Chad Barker here with your Sudoku professor, and today we are going to talk about we're going to talk about this puzzle here. We're going to go through this puzzle where we need a stinking swordfish. So now, all swordfish are not stinking. It's actually a fun and interesting pattern. It's a difficult pattern, but you may recall earlier in the week we did two puzzles that actually had a swordfish pattern on them, but we didn't need one to solve the puzzle. So now here we are on Friday, and I'm going to show you one that actually does need one. And we're going to do that in just a minute. I wanted to answer a question because this came in over this morning. It's John wrote in and he said, I've been watching all week. And would like to become a club member, but I am not on any social media. So let me unpack that. So thank you, John, for watching all week long. This has been a great week where we have been celebrating all things Sudoku in Sudoku Week. So, and you'd like to become a member and you're not on any social media. I'm glad you want to become a member. You do not have to be on social media in order to be a club member. Now, we do use as part of the club, we do have a private Facebook group that you can join and interact there. It's a great place for people to interact. A lot of people love it. Not all of the members are members of the not all club members are members of Facebook or of the and therefore they're not a group. It just depends on what you want to do. I have highly recommended that if you're not a member of Facebook that you join just so that you can be part of the private club and you don't just private members group there. Okay. Now, but what I want to do is if you want to join the club, you want to stay tuned for tomorrow at 11. So in 24 hours, we're going to be announcing the winners for the giveaway. Talk about that in just a second. And we are going to, the other thing that we're going to cover then is I'm going to give you a big announcement that has to do with the club. It is something that we have never, ever done here on Sudoku Professor. This is absolutely brand new, never done before, but you're going to love it. So stay tuned. Tune in tomorrow at 11 find out if you're a winner. And by the way, whether you're a winner or not, you should go over to giveaway.sudokuprofessor, whether you've entered or not. Go over to giveaway.sudokuprofessor.com. Sorry, I've got a lot going on in my mind. My mind's moving faster than my mouth here, and that's why we're struggling. Anyway, go to giveaway.sudokuprofessor.com and sign up for the Sudoku Players Dream Giveaway Sweepstakes, where we have over $16,000 in prizes up for grabs. If you are the grand prize winner, you could win lifetime access to the Sudoku Professors Insiders Club, lifetime access to all of our courses. You could win a stack of these really cool books from Nikolai. You can get the grand prize winner gets 9 of these. First prize winners get 3 each, and we have 3 first prize winners, first prizes available. If you're the grand prize winner, you also get 2 in live face-to-face or virtual face-to-face sessions with me for coaching, personal coaching, whatever you need, mentoring to help you get more confidence in solving more Sudoku. So we can help you get over whatever is holding you back in those sessions. So head on over again, giveaway.sudokuprofessor.com. You have less than 24 hours to do this. If you haven't done it already, you need to head on over there because we're closing it at 10:30 so that we have time to figure out and draw those winners randomly. And you can, when you get over there, sign up, you will find out how to maximize your entries. You can actually have more than one entry if you share on social media. But the best thing to do is to share with friends and family. Send them your personal link, which you will get once you sign up, and get them to sign up, and you will get a lot more entries. And if they win, you win. Okay, so head on over there, giveaway.sudokuprofessor.com. That's all you have to do is type that into your web browser. It's very easy to spell. So make sure you spell Sudoku right. It has 2 U's and 1 O. So 2 U's on either side, and the O goes in the middle. Sudoku. Okay. So, all right. So we are going to cover this Stinkin Swordfish, and if you have not yet downloaded the puzzle, it was in a link was in our email that we sent out, but there's also a link in the description of this video. So if you go to that, you can click on that link and download and print that out. We are going to start that right now. And let's see here. What have we got? Is that all we have? So before we head over there, Claire is asking, let me answer Claire's question while I get things set up here. Claire is asking, will the videos disappear after this week? No, they won't. They'll stay on Facebook so that you can go back and refer to that. We know, as we said in one of my emails, it's almost like drinking out of a fire hose here. What we have inundated you with, so we know that we'll need some time to digest that. So feel free to come back to the channel, our YouTube channel, and watch those videos there. And if you don't do Facebook, that's okay. It's just another platform for us to spread the word. So and to connect with one another. All right. So the swordfish. Let's get over to that. Well, so we do need a swordfish for this one. So let's see here. Again, go to the link and download that below. Okay. So do you have this in front of you? All right. Let's get started here. So this puzzle is interesting. You got a whole lot going on, a lot of givens already to begin with. There are, if you've been in my classes and my bachelor's lessons, you'll notice that there's plenty of opportunity, or it looks like there's plenty of opportunity for some pattern solving. There's some really neat patterns on here that you could use, but it turns out that they're not as helpful as you would like them to be. If you've, especially, like I said, if you've watched my pattern solving lessons. So there's nothing that you could get with pattern solving that you couldn't get with the 1 through 9. So we're going to start with that. Again, we start with the 1 through 9s. We're looking for easy ways to get as much information on the board as possible. And that right there is top of the list. So we're scanning the board for, being quite methodical to make sure that I hit every box with every number, so that I can tell whether what I'm missing or what. So I make sure I get all the information I possibly can on the board at once. So let's see here. So we can feed that back, and we get a 1 going here or here, and then 1 goes here or here. But we have to get all of this information on the board before we can continue. We got to get the easy stuff on there, because there's no way we can't start off looking for a swordfish. Okay. That just doesn't work that way. Okay. You will frustrate yourself, and you will not find what you're looking for. So you need to stick with the basics on any puzzle when you first start out. If you fail to do that, like I said, you're going to be really, really frustrated. 2's already in there. 2, 2, and there we go. I got to see what's on the board if I don't see it. Okay, so let me make sure I did that right, 2. So we're only missing the 2 2s, right? Yes. Okay, 3. And we can fill in the 3 here. And pencil here. 3 can't go here. That's a lot of places. 3. Is that right? Nope. 3 can. Oh, missing the. That's what I was. Got my column eliminator allows me to place the 3 there, and then we can reduce 3 to 2 places here. So those 2 places, those 4 places, those 2 places. Okay. And then we have the rest of them. Okay. 4. We only have 1 4 on the board. And we got 4 on the board. And that is it. And because of that, 4 can go in way too many places. 5. Okay, so we can pencil mark 5 here and here. And then all 3 of these. Where can 5 go? Anything here? 6 places here. Anything there? We can pencil mark 5 here. That's column eliminating, which allows us to note that 5 can go in one of these 3. And then these 4 over here, 5, and is that 6? Okay, 6, 6, 6, 6, and then these 4, these 3, these 2. I'm getting that right. And let's see, what else we got? 6 can go any of these 4 places here, and these 3 places over here in box 9. Everybody following along? Let's see here. We got a couple of, is there anybody else commenting over here? I want to keep checking that. Hello, Marianne and Kathy. Glad you joined us. Anybody? I'm sure we have a lot of other people joining from around the country, around the world. Feel free to comment and say hi if you would like. I know a lot of people like to stay silent. So, all right. So 7. Let's see here. So 7 can't be here. So 7 goes here, and then 7 has to go here, and then what else? 7. These 4. 7 can't be here. Can't be any of these. So, or there. So 7 goes here. And then 7 can only go here or here. And then 7 can only go here, here, and here. So only missing 2 7s. 8. That's these 3 here, and then all of these, right? And then 8 can't be here. So that's these 2. And then 8 can go in 3 places here. And what we see right now is that we have, after filling in the 7s, I see that we have only one thing left in column 1. So 1, 2, 3, we need the 4. That, not surprising. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So just to be sure. And now, let's see what else we got here. We did the 8s. We want to do 9s, 9, 9, 9. And then 9 can go in these 3. 9 can't be here, here, or there. So 9 can only go here or here. And then 9 can't be either here or here. So 9 goes here, 6 goes here, and 8 goes here. All right, so that's cool. And that's it for the 9. So I can go back and see what impact the 6 and the 8 have. Hold on a second. Is there anything else? Yeah, that's right. I should go back and fill it. 9 can go here or here. And then the 6, still too many places here. And we can narrow it to 2 places in box 9. And nothing else there. The 8, that means 8 can only go here or here. And here or here. All right, so now I've done the 1 through 9s. I could go back through it, but I really have some opportunities with think outside the box. So let's hit that. Let's do the easy ones first. Obviously, we never want to do anything harder than we have to, right? No reason to work harder than we need. That's why we don't start off looking for swordfish, or we don't even want to look for a swordfish right now, because we never know what else we might find. And again, we could be very frustrated. So I got only 3 left in this column 2 here. So we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4, 5, and 8. I have 4, 5, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's 9. Okay, so good. So now this space here can only be 4 or 5. And this space up here can only be 4 or 8. And this still can be 4, 5, or 8. So let's see here. What else is easy? How about this row right here? 1, 5. It looks like 1, 5, and 6. But I'm basing that on my pencil marks that I have. But I want to go back and verify, because if I don't verify, I may have filled something in. And this is part of the mistakes that if you've seen me make mistakes earlier in the week in these live solvings, it's part of what it is that I wasn't verifying. I was making assumptions based on what I saw with pencil marks and not going back and verifying. 1, we have 2, 3, there's 4, we need 5, 6, there's 7, 8, 9. So yes. Okay, so this can't be a 1, so this is 5 or 6 only. And then this is 1 or 5 only. But this space here, row 8, column 8 can still be 1, 5, or 6. And then we have this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, and then 8. as is indicated here. So this space can't be an 8, so this is 4 or 5 only. This can't be 4, so this is 5 or 8 only, but this space here can still be 4, 5, or 8. Is there anything else? Let's see here. 4 is in box 9. 4 is in box 9. That's right. Thank you for telling me about that, Claire. I could pencil mark 4 here or here. So what I didn't do is follow up on the 4 over here that I filled in when I completed column 1. Thanks, Claire. That was something we could do. Okay, now, row 1 here. Well, there's only two numbers missing. So this space here can only be 4 or 8. Okay. Now, some of you may be thinking, okay, well, look, I've got 4, 8 pencil marked up here in row 1 and a 4, 8 pencil marked down here in row 9. And you may think, oh, that's a 4, 8 crossbox double. I can make some decisions based on that. But the truth of the matter is that you have to know that this space down here can also, you need to verify. Whenever you come across something like this, you don't want to jump to the conclusion. So what can go in that space? And what we realize is that 5 is also a possibility. So you cannot make the decision that this is a 4, 8 crossbox double, even though it looks like it. Of course, it is up here in row 1, but that's because there's nothing else to do there in row 1 except for the only 2 things that are missing are 4 and 8. Everything else is already filled in. Okay. So let's see here. We could do this column, we could do this row here. 1. We need 1, 2. We have 3, 4, 6, and 7 is what it looks like there. 3, 4, 6, and 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. Okay. So this can't be 7. It can't be 3 or 7. So this is 4 or 6 only, and we can see that 3 and 7 are over here. This can't be 3. So this is still 4, 6, 7. This can't be 7. This is still 3, 4, 6. This can't be 6. This is still 3, 4, 7. Okay. Yeah. All right. And what else do we have? We have this column here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. Okay. So this can't be 3 or 4. So it is 5 or 9. This can be everything. This can't be 9, so it's 3, 4, 5, and this can't be 3. Okay, so this is 4. 4 we can pencil mark 4 here as the only other thing that can go in that space, which I could have done earlier if I thought about it, and I didn't. So let's see here. Let's do 2 more. We got 2 more things outside the box here, and then let's rethink what we want to do here, because these only have 4 missing. Not sure what we're going to find. 1, 5, 6, 8 is what I'm assuming here. 1, 5, 6, 8, based on these pencil marks that I see right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, that's correct. This can't be 1. I don't know why I started here. But it can be 5, 6, or 8. Okay. This space up here, it could be 1, 5, 6, and 8. Everything can go there. That's not helpful. This can't be. We've already looked at these spaces when we did the row. And we're not going to get anything else new out of that. And then let's go to this last one here. And let's see here. We need 1, 4, 5, and 8 is what's missing. We've already looked at these 2. We actually looked at this one up here. So this is the only thing that we need to think about and evaluate. And it can be 1, 4, 5, and 8. It can be everything. What did I say here? This is 1. No, this is, I think I might have said 1, 5, 6, and 8. There's 6 in the box. Or in the row. So this is just 1, 5, and 8. So it can go there. Okay. All right. So we have done 1 through 9s, and we've done the easy think outside the box, and we've got a good bit of information on the board. But I'm right now I'm thinking, okay, so what about these columns? Could I do think outside the box on these columns, or even these rows here? Actually, I could do this row here right now, couldn't I? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I could do that row. And so I might want to do that one right now. And then we'll move on to because every other row, all the other tick marks that I've done with the rows and columns, they all have 5 numbers missing. So the think outside the box gets a bit more complicated, and we have to decide whether or not we really want to go there. So, or we want to look for something else. So let me just finish this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 5, 4, 5, and 8. And we know this is 4, 5, and 8. This can't be 1, 5. So this is 4 or 8. And we already looked at these two, right? This is 1, 5, 8, and this is 1, 4, 5, 8. Okay. So now, again, I'm looking around the board and I'm trying to decide whether I really want to do this extra think outside the box. Might still need to do it. Might be good because this is a really hard puzzle and you kind of need to get as much information on the board. But the one thing that I'm noticing when I do this is I noticed this 2, 9 right here, and I noticed this 2, 9 right down here. Okay, and this is I'm starting to think about what could be what I'm calling a pattern solve method of finding these triple combo or quad combo sort of what cross. I'm sorry. I'm starting to think of these triple combo crossbox triple combos and or maybe a crossbox quad combo. But I'm seeing the 2, 9 and the 2, 9 only because they're running together. And I realized that, okay, wait a minute. Now 2 and 9 would be eliminated from this space, and this space. Okay. I started to think maybe there's something to that. And I started looking along the rest of these things. And I also realized that 2, 9 is eliminated from here. But I still have only 2 numbers that are eliminated from 4 spaces. So we have 7 spaces in the row that are empty, right? Only have 2 numbers filled in. We can see that 2 numbers are eliminated from 4 of those spaces. So we have 3 spaces, these 3 spaces right here, that those 2 numbers would go in. So we really can't make any decisions because, again, we have 2 numbers that can go in 3 spaces, and actually we need a third number. And so I look a little bit harder, and then I realize, hey, we have a 3 here, and we have a 3 here, and the 3 is obviously eliminated here. So actually we have 2, 3, and 9 are eliminated from all of these spaces along this row that I've marked with an X. And that means that these 3 spaces that I'm going to put a dot in here, here, and here these are the only places that 2, 3, and 9 can go along the row. And therefore that forms a crossbox triple combo. And we can make some decisions about that. We can certainly reduce. So here, I'm going to get rid of all my red marks. And we're going to go back and execute that. So, and we're going to go back to blue. So 2, 3, and 9 have to go across here. So what we know, for example, to start off with, is that 2 can't go in the box here. So this now is only 3 and 9. That's the only 2 things that can go there. This space can't be 9, so the only other thing that can go there is a 3, and now 5 that we have pencil marked in all 3 spaces can no longer go in all 3. It can only go here or here, right? This space here can still be 2, 3. This one right here can still be 2, 3, and 9. And I'm going to, just to emphasize it, don't normally do this pencil mark extra, but sometimes you need to. So I'm going to note that the only other thing that can go there is 2, 3, and 9. So we don't get confused and think that something else could go there. And then I'm going to come out here and do think outside the box. And so we have our 2, 3, 9 that we're setting aside. What is left? Well, we know we have 1 in the row, 4 and 5, and then 6, and then 8, 4, 5, 6, and 8. And so looking at this, though, let's see here. 4 can't go here or here, but 5, 6, and 8 can go in those 2 spaces. So we can't really do anything about that. 5 can't go here, but this could still be 4, 6, and 8. And we already knew that this could be 4 and 5. All right. So we discovered a little bit of information. This was a cool thing to find that crossbox triple combo. But we made a little bit of progress, but I don't really see what we can do with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do more think outside the box and see what we come up with here. So let's move on with this column 4 here and see what we come up with. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Start down here, this 2, 5, so this is still 3, 4, 7. This can't be 2, 3, 4, so this is actually 5 and 7 only. We know that this can only be 2 and 3. And then this space here can't be 2 or 7. So this is still 3, 4, 5. And here, this can't be 3 or 7. So is this 2? And it can't be, hold on a second. 3, there's something else. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 3, 7, 5. There it is. 3, 5, and 7 are actually in the box. So this is 2 or 4 only, right? Yeah, 2 or 4 only. Okay. Now, let's do this column here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Here, 1 and 8. So this is still 4, 6, 7. This row here, this can't be 4, 6. I see that 1, 7, and 8 is what can go there. This can't be 1 or 7. We've already looked at this. This is 4, 6, or 8. This can't be 7 or 8. 7 or 8. So this is still 1, 4, 6. And up here, this can't be 6 or 7. So I think this is still 1, 4, 8. So we didn't do anything. Now, if I were to come over here for completeness and do some of these boxes, do some of these rows. This is 1, 3, 1, 1. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I miss something? 1? No, 3 is wrong. I don't need 3 there. I got 3 in the row. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 8. And I could do this in this row here. I've done think outside the box on every space except for this space right here and this space right here. So I could just look at those. There's actually some value in looking at all of them, but for sake of moving on with the puzzle, I'm just going to look at this space right here and this one right here. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. 2. There's still 1 and 2 can't go there. That's 4, 5, 8. And then this one right here. This can't be 5. 1, 2, 4, 8. Lots of things going on there. And we could continue. If I do these other ones, the only space that I'm actually going to be able to look at would be this space here and this space here. And it just turns out that there's a lot of things that can still go in those spaces, and we can get out. So Claire, you're saying, you're asking if 2 numbers can only go in 2 places in a column or row, would you pencil them in, such as the 4 in row 5? And that's a good point. It actually could help you. It actually could help you identify things like a swordfish or other cloaked 4 corners and things like that. A lot of things that you could do. You have to be really careful about it, because if you're following my pencil marking, it doesn't. What we've shown so far doesn't really lend itself to that. We are actually coming out with new lessons that we're going to be releasing probably early part of next year, called linked double pairs. And we're going to be introducing a new pencil marking method that allows you to see those places along rows or in columns where the number can only go in 2 places when it's not just in a single box. Okay, so the pencil marking that I show you has that where you can see it in the box, but along rows and columns. It does help. Just be careful with it and make sure you know what you're pencil marking and how you're pencil marking it. And that's a great question. And then what do you have? Elaine, you said when you've done all the columns, haven't you already done them by the rows by default? And exactly right. And that's what you were ahead of me on that. So that's the reason why I specifically said in these places here. But I tell you what, it's a great question, because you have done them. But what I have found, and I teach this in my lessons as well, when you're doing think outside the box, one of the things that you get from repeating along, like you've done them in columns and you go back and you repeat them along rows, is that sometimes what you didn't see in columns were cross box information that you could find along rows if you did it along rows. So when you're doing it in columns, you may not necessarily see that. When you repeat it along columns, you may see something that you didn't see before. That's a great question. And Suresh, you're actually giving me a 3-corner solution, and I appreciate that. However, let me see, row 2, 8 is, let me use 3 corners. I'm going to believe you, and I am going to, but I'm going to skip that for now because I want to focus on the that may have an impact or may not have an impact on the solution. I'm not really sure, so I'm not really prepared to do that. But that's great. I'm glad you saw that. Okay. Now, let's see here. What we've done here. Okay, so we're at this place. We've done a lot of pencil marking. We've done a lot of think outside the box. We've done our 1 through 9s. We've got a lot of information on the board, but we're still missing. We have big gaps of information. And the one thing that's catching my eye, though, here is, let's see here, is the first thing that caught my eye was this 4-8 up here. The cross, you know, we saw this before, right? That the 4 can only go in 2 places along this row. You know, was clear. You can see that there. And other thing, then it caught my eye that the 4 can only go in 2 places along along row 9, and there is a connection, if you will, between in column 9. Okay, in other words, where the numbers can go here in row 9 and where they can go in up here in row 1, there is a connection that we can make along column 9. And I start to think, hey, this is kind of the things that we're looking for with a swordfish. Okay. Now, there's a lot of ways to look for a swordfish, and actually the key to doing a swordfish is finding it, right? It's a hard thing to find because the pattern is spread out around the board. And there's a lot of different ways. I actually, and I may have mentioned this before, but I spend most of my time in the lessons for my swordfish lessons, helping you find the swordfish to begin with. The logic, you could pick up the logic when you're at that level at the doctorate level. The logic, how you execute once you find the pattern, how you execute the logic is fairly straightforward. But finding the pattern, that's a big deal difference. So we go through a lot of different ways to do that. But I started to get excited at this point because I found the start of what could be a pattern. And even Claire is pointing out, now we also find, so then I'm looking along here, I see the connection in column 9, and I come down here and I say, oh, look, there is also 4 can only go in 2 places along row 5. And I think, I found a swordfish. And then I look a little closer and I realize, oh, darn, dagnabbit, they're actually off because this space here would need to line up in the same column with this space down here. So what we have is 3 rows where 4 can go in 2 places in each of those rows. And they line up in 2 of the columns, column 2 and column 9, but they don't line up in that other column. One of them's in column 6 and one of them's column 5, and therefore we cannot do a swordfish with this. Well, now here's an interesting thing. If you almost find a swordfish with one in say rows like we just found here, then maybe it's worth your time to consider that there might be a swordfish with that same number in columns. Okay, so you almost found one in rows, didn't quite, but maybe it's worth looking in columns. So we transpose the pattern, if you will, in a way. We're just going to look and see what we can come up with. Okay. All right. So we do know. I'd like to start off finding if there's columns or rows that 4 can go in only 2 places. It's not necessarily a requirement, but it does make some things a little bit easier. So I see, but you know, three. If it's in 3 places in a column, that's not such a bad thing either. So we find it here. 4 can go in these 3 spaces. And then we go to the next column. We find out that 4 can only go here and here. Now, remember, we discovered this because of this 2, 3, 9. We've limited 4 can't go in this space now. And then we look over here and go to the next column, and we see 4 can go here, here, and it can't go there, and it can go here. All right, so here's one thing. We got 2 that are starting to line up, 2 columns that are starting to line up, 3 and 4. column 1 is not lining up with anything that's in column 3 or 4. Okay. So we're column, what's going on with 4s in column 2 is losing favor, essentially. And what's going on in columns 3 and 4 are gaining. I hope I said that right. So let's keep going. Okay, column 5. 4 can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. Okay, that's too much. We're not even going to consider that. It can go in too many places. How about column 6? It can go 1, 2, 3. So we got here, 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 and then down here. But now we've just added another row. I don't like that. Let's see what else we can come up with. Okay. So we'll go to column 7, and 4 can go here and here. And it can't go in any of these because 4 is in the box, right? And actually now we have found our swordfish pattern. I look over and I see that what we just found in column 7 lines up along rows. So now we have a what I call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-point swordfish with 4s. Okay, so 4, if we look in those columns 2, 3, and 7, those are the only places that 4 can go. And then we can look along, and they line up in the rows, is what my point is. So those are the only places they can go, and they line up in no more than 3 rows. So we found it in 3 columns. They line up in no more than 3 rows. And so we've actually found our swordfish pattern. So now we get to try to execute on this pattern and figure out what to do next. Okay. So the way we do that is we are going to again, our elimination, once we find the pattern in columns, our elimination is along rows. So wherever 4 is, in between, I'm just going to put this, we use a little bit different notation, but I'm just going to put the X. So 4 can't go here. It can't go here or here, and it can't go here or here. So that's where we eliminate 4 from. So let's take this one step at a time. So we've done our elimination. We know what's eliminated. Now we need to go and figure out how that affects the puzzle and what we can do with it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this red dot over here in box 9 because there's no effect. The swordfish had no effect in box 9, and it has no effect up here in box 3. It also has no effect here in box. In other words, none of the X's are up here in box 1, and we have no X's. We have no eliminations in box 4. Okay, so our only thing we have to deal with is what our X's are. So I guess I could just erase all of these here. So let's go ahead and do this, and we're just going to say that 4 can't go in those spaces. So let's look at each box here. Start up here, and let's go back to blue. Now, since 4 can't go there, 4 can only go in 2 places in the box. That would be here and here. My pen's being a little slow for some reason. I'm not sure why it's doing that. So the only other thing that goes here is an 8, and that's a 4. So this can only be 2 and 4. Okay. Here in this box, in box 5, 4 now can only go here or here, right? Okay. And then down here, 4 can only go here and here. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. Now we want to look at what's going on in these spaces. So if this can't be 4 or 2, so the only other thing that can go there is an 8. This can still be 1, 2, and 8 in this space right here. Okay, so we've taken care of everything that we can do there. All right, so let me erase my X's so we don't have to think about that anymore. What can go here? Actually, let's go ahead and do this. We'll think outside the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this space right here can't be 5. It can't be, what else can it not be? Okay, it can be 1. Okay, it can be 3. It can't be 4 or 5, and it can be 6. So 1, 3, and 6. So that's a little too much information, but I'll leave it for right now. And then this space right here, this can't be. This can be 1. it can't be 2, or it can't be 3, 4, or 5. So the only other thing that can go there is a 6. All right, so that's actually pretty good information. All right. And then finally down here, with 3, 4, 6, and 7. So we know that this can't be 4 or 7. So this is 3 or 6 only. And this space here can't be 3 or 4. So this is 6 or 7 here. Okay. All right. So we've done all of that elimination, right? Everybody follow kind of basically where we are here. And so just checking the comments to see if anybody's had any major questions here. So what we've done, okay, we found the pattern. We figured out what our eliminations are. We then dove in here and we pencil marked where 4 could go in the boxes, since we have eliminated where they could go. And now we have figured out for all those spaces that eliminate what's left over, so that we can come up with these by value cells, or these spaces that can only be 2 possibilities. Pencil marked all of that. And now what else? So we're looking around and we're kind of stuck here, you know. And Facebook user, I'm not sure what, again, it doesn't come across on my end who you are, but this is where we have to actually look a little harder, and we have to figure out, well, what have we done here? And I'm sorry, like I said, it doesn't come across your name, but you have actually hit on it right there. I wish I could give you credit. Check column 6 for putting the 4. So actually think about that. So this eluded me for a while, until I finally figured out what you figured out. And that is, let's look at this here. So we actually eliminated, and we eliminated 4 from here. 4 was already eliminated from there, and here. Okay, we eliminated 4 from all of those spaces. So there's actually only one place left for 4, and you have correctly identified it. All right, so let's go ahead and get that. And that right there, the 4 has to go here, only because it can go nowhere else in the column. Okay, it can still go somewhere else in the box, but there's nowhere else in the column for it to go, and that's going to make a huge impact on what we do next. Okay, so answering a couple of questions here. So Suresh, you found it as well. Good job there. And let's see here. So yeah, you found that 4 in column 6, row 5. And Elaine wants to know which lesson Swordfish taught in that is at our doctorate level. It is I think it's the 6. Let's see, chains, and then Swordfish 610, I think is the number. So it's at our doctorate level, and if you want to know more about that, you want to stay tuned for tomorrow, because I've got, again, a big announcement that you're gonna love. Okay. So Marianne, you're asking a good question. Can this puzzle be done without a swordfish? I haven't looked at every single possibility. Now, Suresh, you did point out the 3 corners, and I don't know if that allowed you to make more progress and avoid a swordfish. So you can let me know in the comments whether that is something that you did, but I do not know. I know that the puzzle maker, actually, when I finally solved the puzzle, I went back and I looked, and the puzzle maker actually said that, yes, this is a swordfish puzzle, but that does not mean that that's exclusive. Okay. So we found the 4. Now we can do a lot more. Okay. So we can put a 5 here, and a 9 here, and a 3 here, and the 4 then has to go here. Let's clean up, because this is messy, and we don't want messy. And let's see, 5 here, and then that becomes a 4-8 double. I'm just going to remember that rather than trying to figure that out. So this becomes a 1-5 double here. And then this is 4-8 here. And let's see, what else is available to us? The 3, that means this is a 2, and then this is a 9. So that's great. So I think we're going to pretty much be downhill from this point forward. And let's see, what else? This is a 1-5 double here and here. And that makes this 4. 6 and 6-8 double here. We don't quite know that information yet. We'll get it soon. And what else? What else is easy? So let me go ahead and do some other pencil mark. I'm sure there's more here. I just gotta look around. I'm distracted by my lack of pencil marks. Even though this is a stage where I'm sitting here, I'm saying, do I fix my pencil marks? And take the time to do that, so that I could possibly see the puzzle better and make more progress faster, or do I just skip it and then I don't know, try to figure out something else, and just try to get by without it, I guess is what I'm trying to do. And I usually end up not skipping it. So we've got what else do we have here? 2. Oh, there we go. 2 here, 1 here. The 4 goes here and the 8 goes here. Okay. That was because of the 2 down in box 5. I was able to do all that. And that solves the whole 4-8 double. See, this is the thing. I knew that I was like really close, one step away. Did I do that right? 8, 4, 8 here, 8 here, 6 here, 4 here, 4 here, 5 here. So I'm just following this around. I'm going to pause and erase just a second if you are not keeping up. I am doing this right? Yeah, I think so. And let me see here. Everything else I got to think about here. Is there something else I need to do? 4 can't go here. 4 can't go here. Yeah, the 5. We filled in the 5. This is a 1 here. And then this has to be a 6. That would have been, I could have done that 2 different ways. And this is a 5, 8. Actually, no, it's not. This is 8 here. This is 5. And this is 1. This is 5. Okay. What else we got going on here? All right. We're almost to the end here. 3, 6, 7. And let's see, the 5, the 1, 5. 1 can only go here and here. Let's see, what else? 3 can still there and there. 6 can still go in here and here. And 7 goes there and there. Haven't changed any of that. So I'm thinking that everything's revolving around here. Okay, so 1 goes in 2 places, here and here. 2, 3 can't go here, here. So 3 can only go here or here. And so that's right. Okay, so 6 has to go here because of the 1 above it. Okay, duh. And then okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. There we go. So 8 comes to the rescue. 7, 5, 3, 1, 1, 5, and then 7, 6, and 3. Okay. So a little bit messy there at the end. Thanks, Suresh. So Marianne was asking, can this be done without a swordfish? Suresh found the 3 corners, which is an XY or possibly an XYZ wing. I'm not sure what exactly you found there, but for those of you who are not familiar, he found it. It allowed you to make an elimination, but not solve the puzzle, and that can be the case. So thanks, Suresh, for letting me know. So there you have it. I mean, this is a swordfish puzzle. So again, swordfish is probably one of the most misunderstood techniques out there, primarily because of the fact that people think they need it for easier puzzles than they really do. Okay, so there's not that many places that you can. There's not that, like, okay, you don't find swordfish puzzles in very much out there in the wilds of puzzles. It's actually, in my experience, it's very rare. We found one consistent it's a source for the puzzles, in addition to some of these Nikolai books, just a few of the Nikolai books that have the swordfish as a featured as one of the techniques that's used a lot There's another puzzle website called extremesudoku.info. Extremesudoku.info, not .com. And what they have 5 levels of puzzles, and at the highest level, which is actually extreme. so the extreme level at extremesudoku.info, they have a consistent supply of swordfish puzzles. But at the, if you, for example, your average newspaper puzzle will probably never have a swordfish on it. Most books out there do not have swordfish as a technique that's required to solve. And so it's relatively rare, but there's a lot more techniques that you can learn to solve your puzzle. So if you're stuck, this is what happens. I get emails from people all the time saying, I'm stuck on this puzzle, do I need a swordfish? And the fact of the matter is that typically, no, you don't need a swordfish. You just need to learn more techniques that are actually easier to understand and easier to execute before you get there. And that's why we put the swordfish technique at our highest level, our doctorate level. And because it's rare, fairly rare, it's difficult to find, but the puzzles that you will be solving with the technique are really, really hard puzzles. So if you're ready for it, then go for it. But I wouldn't try to do it anytime. If you're still at the kind of the hard level, medium hard or whatever, don't even think about trying to do swordfish on a regular basis. Okay. All right. So I want to remind you, let's see, today we have we're going to do another webinar. It's going to be in about 2 hours. We're doing a puzzle. Can you beat my time? And this puzzle has 19 givens on it. Only 19. Now, by comparison, this swordfish puzzle had 32 givens on it. And we needed that high level technique. Are we going to need something that hard to do this at 2 o'clock for this puzzle that has only 19 givens on it? Well, you got to tune in to see. So 2 o'clock Eastern time, again, just a little over 2 hours from now, and you'll get that puzzle about an email with that puzzle. I'll send that out to you in about 30 minutes before that time. And I will see you at that time. Now, make sure, though, that you do not, let's go back to and I'll go back to this, and make sure that you head on over to giveaway.sudokuprofessor.com. Remember, we're getting time's ticking. If you haven't signed up, do it right now and get your friends to sign up to increase your chances of winning. Make sure you pass it on. We are running out of time. We're getting down to the wire here. And tomorrow morning at 11, we're going to be announcing the winners of our Sudoku Players Dream Giveaway Sweepstakes. So make sure that you sign up if you haven't already. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So head on over there and do that now. Don't put it off, because you'll forget and you'll miss out. So you don't want to do that. All right. So again, I'll see you in a couple hours with our Can You Beat My Time? And you can try to see if you can beat my time. If I do as poorly as I did on Sunday, then you will definitely beat my time. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Talking too much. All right. You have a great next couple hours, and I'll see you in just a little bit.